Porsche invited me to their Atlanta Customer Experience Center to put a Taycan Turbo S through its paces. By coincidence, someone was collecting their own Taycan through the customer delivery program. Porsche has begun building a museum of historical and rare collectible cars, and of course the Taycan Turbo S is part of that desirable collection. Porsche helped out George Lucas with the Pegasus Tri-Fighter model used in a film, and in return he provided the audio for the accelerative electric whooshing sound in the Taycan. Aside the museum, exotic Le Mans cars are scattered about in foyers. No expense has been spared on creation of the centre. It's been thoroughly and tastefully created. It has a very nice cafe and restaurant area befitting of a typical Porsche buyer's expectations. Outside we get to the main event. A lengthy handling circuit, a shorter low friction handling circuit, a skid pan, a dynamics area, an off-road course, and my favourite, a kick plate with hazard avoidance control. In terms of my own experience, I currently drive a 400 horsepower BMW M2 competition, and I've owned a flat 6 Porsche Cayman S. I've driven a McLaren 620S, and driven a Mercedes E63 AMG and a Ferrari 458 on track. So I'm pretty familiar with fairly light cars with big horsepower. But nothing really prepares you for 750 horsepower delivered through all-wheel drive with the repeatable launch control consistency thrusting you forward 0 to 60 in just 2.6 seconds. In the Porsche, it's always controlled violence. It's a sledgehammer in a velvet glove. It's the boss, but in a refined, bespoke, tailored suit. The instructors are really good, letting you get on with following them at your own pace. If you keep pace, they will increase their lap times, and if you drop off, they'll reduce their pace. The Taycan Turbo S weighs as much as a Range Rover, but somehow handles like the best sedan you've ever driven. And it is seriously fast. The instructors also drive Taycan Turbo S models because on the straights, absolutely nothing can keep up with it. At one point I found myself screaming at a guy ahead in a Porsche 911 Turbo who was greatly holding me up. I'll say that again. The dog-slow 911 Turbo in front of me was holding me up. The performance is astounding, with acceleration better than anything I've been in and very similar to a very fast sports bike that has launch, traction and wheelie control. And yet it's so refined. The airport runway is but a mile away and planes flew within 100 feet overhead, and yet in the Taycan you just couldn't hear them. If you turn off the artificial acceleration noises, then you could be in a 2020 Rolls Royce. The cars get seriously hammered every day, but there wasn't the slightest creak or rattle inside the car whatsoever. In fact, serious performance aside, it felt every bit just like driving any other gasoline-powered Porsche, which is good, as they make the best drivers' cars for the road in my honest opinion anyway. For such a long, wide and heavy car, its agility was quite astounding. Dimensional limitations apart, I felt it was as fast as my M2 competition through the bends, but not even an M-Series 3-litre twin-turbo masterpiece can live with the Taycan Turbo S on the straights. Launch control is invoked as simply as putting your left foot on the brake and your right foot flat to the floor on the accelerator before letting off the brake. It would easily shoot up beyond 90 mph in the blink of an eye, and then the humongous carbon ceramic brakes would haul the mass down as quickly as a really good sports car. Except in this car, you can take 4 full-size adults out to a swanky restaurant in limo-like comfort. I really enjoyed the kickplate test, which you travel over at about 25 mph before it flings the rear of the car both up into the air and to one side. The bump, direction and lateral forces vary each time, which then sends the car into a slide on the low friction and watered surface, with random pop-up picket fences to avoid as if they were cars. In fact, it's just phenomenal how the electronics will help you to control and haul the car straight while avoiding surprise obstacles and continuing safely on your way. The super short and twisty circuit was also excellent fun, giving the tyre some serious abuse while trying to get the car sideways, which isn't so easy with four-wheel drive, even on the skid pan. The experience is open to the general public and the cost varies depending on the vehicle driven. The Taycan Turbo S is currently available for about $520 for a 90-minute experience, with the highly recommended damage waiver of $50 on top of that, which I would highly recommend. I think the waiver limits your liability to just $2,000 on what is going to be around $200,000 to replace should you roll it. The experience isn't cheap, but if you can afford it, I can't imagine you'd leave the Customer Experience Center thinking anything else other than you have received genuine value for money. If you like doing fun motoring experiences, it's hard to think of a better one that will leave such a lasting impression.